Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Upgraded Sets. I hope that by the picture you can see what set we're going to be working on today, which is the Griswold set. The Griswold set certainly is a striking set, and I needed to start out the video this way just because of how striking the set is. It really does quite pop, doesn't it? Like I'm a rapper with all gold armor and a gold shield and a crown with jewels on it and a gold mace, and probably I need a nice little like purple cape to go on this as well. It'd be excellent. I think it would really go well with the gold. Just really top it off. And I'm not even joking. I really think it would look good with a nice purple cape. So today we're going to be looking at Griswold's set, and a beautiful set that it is. This particular set, of course, is one of the sets in the game which is notorious for being extremely highly customizable. But what we're interested in specifically is it worth upgrading? This entire series is about upgrading the sets. And if you guys are unaware, I've actually already done videos on all of these sets. So these videos are more specifically around, are they good to upgrade? Now, unfortunately, most of this particular set is not upgradable. So the Catechus is already the elite version. The Corona, which is right here, Griswold's Valor, is already the elite version. And I'm pretty sure that the Vortex Shield is already the elite version. I'll double check that one with an upgrade, just be sure. But Griswold's Heart is really the big money here. And the reason why Griswold's Heart is the big money is because not only is it going to upgrade into a Sacred Armor, which is going to be a pretty massive increase in defense, but it also has a negative 40% modifier on it, which means that technically this is actually going to be a good upgrade no matter what, because the defense required for, or sorry, the strength required for a Sacred Armor is 232 minus the 40% modifier that's on the armor, means we're going to be looking at only a strength requirement of 139, or if you round it up, 140. And 140 is less than the 156 for a Spirit Shield. So what we're looking at here is a pretty amazing event where upgrading an item is actually going to have a positive effect. There are very few items that when you upgrade them, it's a positive effect. Sometimes the level requirement goes too high, sometimes the strength goes too high, sometimes there's no real reason to do the upgrade. Now, Griswold's Armor, Griswold's Heart, is something that has actually been utilized on many characters, not just Paladins. Because it is a 3-socket armor with relatively good stats, having plus 20 strength, the negative requirements, the 500 defense bonus, you can socket this with whatever you would particularly want to socket it with, and get some nice effects for it. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have any green bonuses on it, which is very sad. So you cannot rock this with other pieces of the Griswold set for any green bonuses. You will, however, get a nice 2-piece bonus from the Corona of 20 strength, which isn't too bad. And those are the only 2 pieces that really anyone is going to use outside of a Paladin. You could theoretically use the Catechus on a non-Paladin character, but you cannot use the shield on a non-Paladin character. So, you know, we're left with basically a 3-piece bonus here. And you do get 20 strength and 30 dexterity from this 3-piece bonus, but the majority of the green bonuses are Paladin only bonuses. So we got the +2 combat skills, which doesn't really help us. We got the +2 offensive auras, which again doesn't really help us. And so, you know, in general, this set does tend to be a Paladin set, although it is relatively notorious for just having tons and tons and tons of sockets for you to do with whatever you will. Now, before we go through the process of upgrading this, let's talk about the set and what it might be useful for, and you know, we'll go over each piece by piece. So first off, let's go over the Catechus, the Caduceus, or Caduceus. I don't even know how you pronounce it. I'm sure it's a very fancy word. You know what? Let's for funny sake, let's type in the word. So Caduceus Pronunciation. Let's see if, because Google sometimes has a pronunciation of a word. I think it's funny.
Caduceus.
Caduceus. Well, that is completely not what I thought it would be.
Caduceus. Caduceus.
Caduceus. All right. Caduceus. The Griswold's Redemption Caduceus. I like Catechus better. The Caduceus is a one-handed damage of 145 to 186. Very fast attack speed. Of course, it's a mace class weapon, so it gets the 50% damage bonus to Undead. We also get the 40% increased attack speed on this thing, which means it goes really, really fast. We got 56 dexterity requirements, 78 strength, so relatively low. Level 66 requirement, again, relatively low. It has relatively good damage on it because of the 240% enhanced damage, so it is actually a really nice damage weapon for level 66. We also have 250% bonus to Undead, which of course 50% of that is from the Undead, the Mace class, but it is a rather large bonus, and it functions the same as Might. So the 240% enhanced damage is way better in function than the 250% damage to Undead, so keep that in mind. They do not function the same. So the 250% bonus damage to Undead acts as off-weapon ED and will enhance the damage similarly to a Might or a Fanaticism or a Concentration aura. It doesn't work the same way that the ED does. We also have negative 20% requirements on this, which of course makes it easier to wield. And we also get a green bonus of 10 to 20 damage for one piece, a green bonus of 10 to 20 damage for two pieces, and another green bonus of +2 combat skills for two pieces. I believe, actually, one of the 10 to 20s is for the full set, my bad. So if you look at this without the full set, you'll notice that the damage on this is only 125 to 146. So if you're planning to use this on a non-paladin character with no other pieces of this equipment, which is not a terrible idea, because it's actually a pretty nice weapon, you are not going to get those 10 to 20 damage bonuses without at least one other piece. Or sorry, at least two other pieces. So you would actually need to wear the helmet and the armor to get that 10 to 20 extra damage. And it does make a pretty big difference. As you can see here, I'm at 145 to 186, and without the set, I'm at 125 to 146. So pretty big boost in the overall damage. The +2 to combat skills was 2 items, by the way. I don't know if I said that. And of course, it's just a fairly nice weapon all around. With 4 sockets, you can, of course, do whatever you want to do with this thing. You can put in 4 shale runes. You could throw in a shale rune, an am rune, a low rune, and a burr rune. You could literally fill it with burr runes. You could rock a huge amount of crushing blow. You could fill it with runes and have massive, open wounds. You could fill it with lightning facets, and you could be a ridiculously crazy, Fist of the Heavens paladin, which is a better option now that Fist of the Heavens got a delay decrease. So very nice. There actually is an entire setup, I believe, with Griswolds where literally you just fill every single socket in Griswold's set with lightning facets, which is a total of what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lightning facets, which is a pretty beast amount of lightning facets. And if all of them were perfect, which I doubt they would be if you have 13 of them, but 13 times 5 is a negative 65% to the enemy's lightning resistance and plus 65% to your lightning skill damage, which is going to be a really powerful effect on your lightning Fist of the Heavens. So very, very, very cool. And actually that works very well in PvP also, from what I remember, because the negative 65% resistance works on the enemy's resistance, and unless they're overprotected against you, it actually is really powerful. You can also do all sorts of really cool things with this, like for instance, you could just add elemental damage gems if you wanted to, just for a time being. You can always remove any gems that you put into the socket. Remember, you can put them in here with a single scroll of Town Portal and a Hell Rune, and that will of course remove the gems, but it will destroy them in the process. So if you wanted to just temporarily throw a bunch of crap in there just to make it useful, and then remove them later when you have the correct stuff that you'd like to put in, you can do that. And next on the list, we have Griswold's Valor Corona. Oh, and before I forget, the sockets on Griswold's Redemption do vary 3 to 4. So sometimes you'll find a Griswold's Redemption with only 3 sockets, but try and find one that has 4 sockets because you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck out of it if you actually want to use it. So Griswold's Valor is 290 defense, and it has 105 strength requirement with level 69. And this one in particular has 75% enhanced defense, which does vary a little bit, between 50 to 75%. And the ED on the I can't even pronounce it the way that they're pronouncing it. The you know what? Let's just do this, just for laughs. Let's go.
Caduceus.
The Caduceus also has a variance on its ED of 40%, so it's 200 to 240%. So we've got a little bit of a variance on the defense on this, and then we also have all resistance that's 5. I'm not really sure why it just has 5 all resists. I think it's because they target a very specific number with these sets. I've noticed that every single one of these sets, the class sets like Natalia's, a Trang's, Immortal King, etc., they all seem to target a very specific value, and I guess this one is trying to target one that requires +5 all resistances. We also have 20 to 30% better chance of magic items, which does vary by 10%. And then we have a cold absorption, which is based on character level of 0.25 per level, which means it caps out at 24 cold absorb. Cold absorb is actually pretty nice. We also have the negative 40% requirements on this set, which is very interesting because a lot of pieces on this set have negative requirements. We've got negative requirements on the armor, negative requirements on the weapon, negative requirements on the helmet, and all of this is going to add up to a very nice lack of strength that you have to build, which means that you can build more into vitality. Now, we do get a green bonus on this of +2 to offensive auras, and that does happen at, I believe it's 2 pieces. So yes, we get 2 to offensive auras at 2 pieces. And it's important to note that they kind of balance this out on purpose. So the offensive auras here is 2, the combat skills here is 2, and then we also get 2 to defensive on the plate. So you're looking at basically +2 to all skills. They just spread it out over 3 pieces. They didn't want to give you +2 to all skills flat, but they do give you +3 to all skills for all the pieces. So you end up with +5 to all skills for the full set. So keep that in mind. We also have Griswold's Heart Ornate Plate, which is the one that we're going to be upgrading. This one is 950 defense, 102 strength, level 45. With +2 defensive auras, 500 strength, 500 bonus defense. So not a percentage bonus defense, but just a flat 500 added. We also have +20 strength and negative 40% requirements. Also has 3 sockets in it, and I do not believe this one actually varies. I'm pretty sure the armor always comes with 3 sockets. The helmet always comes with 2, and the shield always comes with 3 sockets. But the weapon is the one that varies between 3 to 4 sockets. Now, the armor itself is actually relatively useful even on non-paladins, like I was saying earlier, because you can throw in whatever you want in here. You could throw in 15% 40 joules. You could throw in all resistance like runes or all resistance jewels or something like that. There's a bunch of different things you could do with this to make it useful. And although there is a better option, the Jeweler's Plate of the Whale, if you can happen to get your hands on that, that's exceedingly rare, by the way, the Jeweler's Plate of the Whale, then that would be a better option because it has 4 sockets as opposed to 3. But this one is a relatively nice 3-socket armor with relatively low requirements that you can put on just about anybody, and gives you 20 strength on top of that. And if you stack it up with one other piece, you get another 20 strength. This is something that I don't think a lot of people realize about this 2-piece bonus here, is that you end up with literally 40 strength from this combination, and only a 100 and what is it, 105 strength requirement on the two pieces, and you get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 5 sockets to do with as you will. So kind of a nice little strength bonus there. You could utilize this on a mercenary, for instance, to get early access to a Insight Colossus Vulge, because obviously F Insight Colossus Vulge is 200 strength, but with this you would have a bonus of 40 strength on your merc, which would make it a little bit nicer. You could also put some jewels or gems in here, like maybe double shale up the helmet for 40% faster hit recovery, and then maybe, I don't know what you do with the armor, maybe some 15% IAS jewels. Those are pretty cheap. I'm not talking about 1540s. I'm just talking about 15% IAS jewels. So you could rock 3 15% IAS jewels in here for 15, 15, 15. So, you know, you would end up with, 45% IAS, 15, 30, yeah, 45%. So you get 45% IAS and 40% faster hit recovery, and then the rest of the stats that are on these two pieces. And then that would allow you to actually utilize your Insight Vulge. You know, there are a lot of different things that you can do with these combos. And then we also have the Griswold's Honor Vortex Shield, which does not have any green bonuses either. This one is 333 defense, 69% chance to block, and of course it does have different block chances on different characters, but it doesn't matter because they can't use this shield. We have 5 to 87 smite damage, and we have 148 strength requirement with a level requirement of 68. 65% faster block rate on this thing is kind of nuts, and will probably put you to the 1 frame blocking. We have 20% increased chance of blocking, and then we have 108 bonus defense with 45 to all resistances. Now the 45 all res is actually excellent, because what that means is that Griswold Honor basically becomes a free 4-socket perfect Vortex Shield. Now granted, you don't get to put a rune word in it, so keep that in mind, but think about it like this. If I were running along and I found a Vortex Shield with 45 all res on it, I'd be ecstatic, right? I could put any number of rune words in that. I could do all sorts of crazy things with it. I could try and make a sanctuary if it was 3-socket. I could make an exile if it was F and 4-socket. I could make a rhyme shield out of it if it was 2-socket. There's like 100 different things that you can do with you know, socketed 45 all res Vortex shields. But this isn't one that you could make a rune word in, but it does have some really nice effects on it already. It's got 65% faster block, it's got 20% increased chance of blocking, it has 45 all resistances, it's got pretty nice defense on it, and it has 3 sockets that you can do with as you will. I could take 3 15% IAS jewels and put them in here, and I could be rocking literally 45% faster attack speed. Or I could throw in 3 perfect diamonds or 3 runes and get even more resistances. Perfect diamonds, I believe, are what is it, 18, and runes are, I think it's 22. I'm pretty sure runes are like 22 or something like that in a shield. They get a small bonus for being put in a shield. So, like, for instance, if you were to throw 3 runes in this with 22 resistance a pop, with the 45 all res that's currently already on here, you would be rocking 45 plus 22 plus 22 plus 22, which is a total of 111% resistances, which is absolutely nuts. Especially considering it already has 65% faster block and 20% increased chance of blocking on it. So you've got a extremely defensive shield in that situation. You could also throw other things in it. You know, there are different runes and gems and jewels all throughout the game, which could be relatively nice. I mean, you could throw 3 15% 40s in here if you were a rich bastard, and you could end up with a very nice 40% faster attack speed and 120%, right? 120% enhanced damage, which would certainly be very nice for certain classes. You could also utilize this shield in other ways. You know, you could just simply beef up the blocking as high as possible. You could throw in runes that give dexterity or strength or any other number of things. Maybe you're running like an extreme low strength build or something. I don't know. What it comes down to is that Griswold's set is extremely customizable to whatever it is that you want to do. And that is really the beauty of it. Do you want to add massive amounts of physical damage to your 4-socket at Griswold's Redemption? Then go ahead and do it. If you want to make it super duper fast so you can attack with amazing speed, then go ahead and do it. Do you want to increase your defensive mechanics, or do you want to go completely offensive? Griswold is just one of those odd sets that if you utilize it properly with the right gems and the right tools, with the right setup and the right skills, it can be extremely powerful. I mean, the one that comes to mind right off the top of my head every single time is the literally max faceted, lightning faceted Fist of the Heavens build, which is literally 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12. Sorry, 12. I think I said 13 earlier. It's 12 lightning facets, which is a large number of lightning facets for a rather nice set. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to upgrading. So just to make sure that the Vortex Shield is not upgradable, we got a Lem Rune, a Co Rune, and a Perfect Diamond here, and no Transmuto. And I know that the helmet is not transmutable either, because it is already at the elite tier, and the armor is really the only one left. So I'm actually really excited about this. So we're going to go from 950 defense, 102 strength requirement, and a level of 45, to 1,039 defense, 140 strength requirement, and level 73. So the strength requirement didn't go up that badly. 140 is still actually below the 148 required for the Griswold's Honor. We still get bonus strength from the armor and the set, so we're still rocking pretty high numbers there. The defense increase wasn't as massive as I originally had anticipated, but 1,039 on that is actually kind of nice. However, the base defense on the original armor was already 950 at its highest, so we really only went up about like 100 defense, which really didn't even seem like it was all that worth it. Although if you were going to use this as like your main item, like you were going to invest 15% 40 jewels in this, or something very, very valuable in this particular armor, you would definitely want to upgrade it, unless you were running into strength requirement issues. But I can't see 140 strength being that big of an issue, especially considering the set gives you the armor already gives you 20 strength. So putting this armor on is going to give you what, 140, 50, 60. So you're going to be at 160 strength just for wearing this armor if you have the base 140 required, and that would literally bump you up to above a spirit shield. So you'd be at 160, and the spirit shields are 156. So you could literally use this to min-max your strength a little bit. From 140 to 160. A little bit sad on the upgrade there. Let's do some quick math, though, and let's figure out what the maximum defense possible, because, of course, this rolls. We have to remember that this rolls. Let's see what the maximum possible for this would be. So we're rocking, on a Sacred Armor, it rolls between 487 to 600. So 600 is the highest defense that a Sacred Armor can possibly be. And since there is no enhanced defense on this particular armor, that means that we only get the 500 bonus. So it's literally just going to be 600 plus 500, which is 1,100. So the highest that the Griswold Heart could possibly go is 1,100. Now, if I was using this set on a Paladin, like maybe I just decided I wanted to be a Griswold Heart Paladin, I've customized it to all get out, and I'm using this as my endgame set, I would definitely upgrade the armor. That is a solid upgrade for a set that is not that bad. If you're utilizing Griswold's Heart for any specific purpose, in a build, and you are not restricted to that 100 and what is it, 102 strength requirement. Let's go back real quick to my page here. So yeah, if you're not restricted to that 102 strength requirement, if you can do the extra 38 strength required to upgrade this from the ornate to the sacred, I say do it. That is a pretty solid upgrade. All in all, Griswold's is just one of those beautiful sets that really doesn't have a specific character that I would recommend to use it because it is so customizable. If you can think of a specific purpose for this set, put it down in the comments below. I'm sure there's hundreds of very specific purposes for this set. Like maybe somebody decided to bring this set and just literally fill every single gem slot with 15% IAS jewels to see how that high they could get their breakpoint, which of course might be a waste. But that's the kind of silly stuff that you can do with something like this, is you can literally build your character how you would specifically want it. You want to be super tanky? Well, put in tons of runes and everything, and literally you'll be overprotected on all your resistances. Or you want to be, extremely damaging. You want to damage monsters, with your elemental attacks, then put your lightning facets, or your fire facets, or your cold facets. And, that's just kind of how this set runs. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and, I got quite a few more coming up, by the way. I have already actually made Cathin's Traps, Arcana's Tricks, Immortal Kings, Caligula's Brace, Angelic Raiment. Those are all coming up. Alder's Watchtower, I believe, is already out. So if you're watching this one and you haven't seen Alder's, go check that one out. Sazabi's Grand Tribute is also already out. Iratha's Finery, and Saigon's Complete Steel, as well as Death's Disguise. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.